Joining us now to discuss is Steve Ehrlich, CEO of crypto trading platform Voyager Digital. Welcome to the show, Steve. So, just stepping back, I'd love to hear you outline the significance of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender in your view, because we had Jim Rogers, a legendary commodities investing giant, on earlier today, and he said it's not significant that El Salvador is not a trendsetter, that China and the United States are, and the U.S. is skeptical of Bitcoin, whereas China is trying to ban it every year.
Well, look, thank you for having me again. Appreciate being on. El Salvador might not be a trendsetter, but in this instance, being the first country to accept it as legal tender is trend-setting. I think it will be a model for what others do, and I think there'll be a lot of eyes on El Salvador when September 7th comes, and hopefully they hit that date with all their infrastructure to make it work. And I think, though, when it's effective, and I say when because I believe it will be effective, and not everybody will adopt it right away, and your chart showed that there's some skepticism, but people will begin to adopt it in El Salvador, and I think that will become trend-setting. You're already hearing about other countries looking at it and thinking about making it legal tender. So, yes, the U.S. and China are two big countries, two of the biggest in the world, but, the smaller countries adopting this will become trend-setting, I believe.
Mm-hmm. All right. So El Salvador, their government is using a platform called Shivo to ensure easy convertibility between BTC and USD, because you're required to accept BTC as payments, but if you want to convert it back to BTC immediately, you can. But there's a lot of concern around Bitcoin as an efficient medium of exchange, according to JP Morgan, efficient as in fast and inexpensive. For one thing, JP Morgan points out that a lot of Bitcoin is illiquid out there. More than 90% hasn't changed hands in more than a year. And if you introduce a country that uses it as a medium of exchange, there are questions as to what degree the Bitcoin network can service these people. Now, folks from the Lightning Network, of course, say that by tracking transactions off-chain, this would offset volumes on the main chain. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think the report says somewhere between 1% to 4% of all the El Salvador transaction will be 1% to 4% of all the on-chain transactions. I think the Lightning Network and other layer 2 protocols will help make it more efficient over time. That's the goal of Bitcoin anyway, right? I think when you look at it, we want to use it as a medium of transaction, and we have to get quicker. It has to become more efficient. This is just the start. I truly believe people forget that this mechanism, Bitcoin's only been around, this protocol, for 10, 11 years. And we're just improving it every single day. And this is the first step in that improvement. And we'll get learnings from that. We'll see what happens when El Salvador does go live September 7th. And we'll see how to improve it. And there'll be a lot of projects out there making it better for people to use as a transactional currency. I think this is just the first step. And unfortunately, there's a lot of naysayers in the world that want to push it down. But I think, the population, the community around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are driving us forward, not backwards. And I think this will drive more efficiency over time.
Mm-hmm. JP Morgan analysts also saying that the demand for BTC to USD conversions will be huge, and that will eventually dry up supply of US dollars in the country, and that's a huge risk out there. Your reaction?
Yeah, look, I think El Salvador didn't make this, legal tender without doing their analysis, and they probably have more understanding of how it's going to work within their ecosystem than me, JP Morgan, or anyone else. So I think that they've probably done their work, understand how the effects are of all this, and look at this as a very positive for the residents and the people of El Salvador. Again, remember, a lot of the reason why El Salvador was pretty clear about this was they have a lot of workers, a lot of people from El Salvador that live elsewhere, and they're sending money back home too by Bitcoin, and because it's the most efficient way rather than using the traditional banking system. So we can't lose sight of that as well, because all these things are really important in the adoption of Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to touch on this topic as well. Investors who have bought GBTC at NAV will see their trades unwinding July 18th. What impact, if any, do you believe that will have on Bitcoin?
I think your previous guest, Manik, said something about, you've seen both sides of it, where it can possibly decrease, the price, but it also can increase the price. I think, in my mind, I think it will increase the price. I think that, yes, there will be some selling off there. I also think that the NAV being so far discounted, more people may hold that paper as the opportunity for that discount to decrease, and the opportunity eventually of an ETF in the Bitcoin world would really mean that the discount should almost go to a net par on that. So I think more people will hold it, not necessarily sell their shares of GBTC when it becomes due.
And finally, what kind of volumes are you seeing on your platform at Voyager Digital right now? We're seeing Bitcoin at a bit of a lull, as we mentioned earlier in the show. So are you seeing any interesting activity in terms of volumes or anything upcoming?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a lull. The trading volume in the industry is quite low now, but we are seeing customers trade alternative coins. They're taking chance to buy some of the flatness in more Bitcoin. We're seeing net deposits still come on our platform every single day, both net deposits in fiat and in crypto, to take advantage of interest rates that we offer. And I think that's what we really see as a trend right now, is those Bitcoin holders are coming to us. Those USDC folks are bringing more on the platform to earn interest. But from a trading perspective, we're also seeing some active trading in coins like Shiba, Cardano, even our own token, the Voyager token. We're seeing some trading as people are trying to accumulate more in a flat market. So it's an opportunity for investors to actually start accumulating, because we all believe cryptocurrency is going to rise over the next 6 months.